after her at 1018 if there was ever a fight or anything. Actually, she told me a few times when there was trouble, I'd always look for her and put her in a cab and send her home and make sure she got home okay. So that's when I first met her, back in the late 80s.
I met Vivian in 1998. I was auditioning for a vocalist for a band, that I had. At the time, I was on my second album, and I needed someone to be my onstage Olga Tañón when I did shows. So what I did was I used my status at the time to introduce her to a whole new world, to uplift her. I knew she loved to sing, so I made it my business to make her sing. I had her go everywhere I had to go, interviews, performances, club dates, anything that I had to do, she was right there by my side. It was my objective to make her blossom as a person, make her come out of her shell, because I knew who she was for real. I knew what she had in there. I knew her potential.
That's when she turned into the woman. That's when she started developing that character of the woman, who she was going to be. So she wrote a record for a young lady called E.R.M.F called Rescue Me. And it got on the radio.
I feel like I've always seen the personal, through being in the clubs as a kid, there's always people that you see hanging out around the areas that you are in, and she was always a pretty girl, with a big smile that would walk in the room, and then she'd walk past you, really elegant, always classy.
Through the years, we kept growing. Our friendship kept growing. Got closer to her kids, Christian. I remember Christian, they call him Mookie. Christian is Mookie, and Chrissy always took care of him. What they didn't understand at the time was that she was being mommy and daddy.
When Mom was diagnosed with breast cancer, she told me over an email. She didn't want me and my grandmother to worry, or my brother. I didn't think that breast cancer was that serious.
When I found out about Vivian's diagnosis, I thought it was a big mistake. I thought that the lab probably gave her somebody else's results. It was very difficult for me to process.
The first time, it was a shock. I refused to believe that this was going to get her.
I actually went to the doctor's office with her when she had one of her exams. She had already been diagnosed.
She calls me up as she's getting dressed and she goes, "Sal, I feel a lump on my breast."
And I try to keep it positive. I'm like, just wait until you find out what's going on before you panic. Let's know what we're up against. And I felt it. She let me touch the lump, and it was different. When a woman has breast cancer, it doesn't feel like anything that belongs there.
She called me that afternoon and goes, "Sal, I have cancer."
It's just so upsetting to me that Vivian was diagnosed with breast cancer. The interesting thing was that I was devastated, yet she would give me strength. She would say, "You gotta hold it together for me, girl."
I was scared. I was confused. I had so many questions, but there was nothing that she would say that just made me think anything other than that she was gonna be okay.
My name is Millie, and I became friends with Vivian because we both were going through the same thing as far as having to fight cancer. We've just been friends ever since she got diagnosed back in 2009. What made us special to each other was that we related to each other, and we decided to give back from the very beginning. And I'm going to continue to do that for Vivian.
Her contribution to my fight was to hold my hand through it, to guide me, to prepare me, to introduce me to other people who had inspired her, to collaborate with my family, to hold my hand when I was the sickest. So she was definitely like my savior. I'm totally in debt to her for saving my life.